sense.
Why we talk to you about me?
Me, I just tell Lolo, say Lolo, please get out of my jacket.
Why would they say,
the TV don't come.
They say the man called Koti.
You know the link
We
up.
can't put them oh, the people they call.
Okay.
Nobody said they want this.
Exactly. But when did you leave? I say, yes.
Me, I'm here saying that.
The two areas. That's the two happened after me. So each, I don't know what happened. Oh, finally. It's still saying no signal though.
And just turn off the TV.
No, distraction.
Who's that?
Just turn off the TV.
Yeah, so you go figure out
Descent.
You did dream or you
This is intelligence group.
If you think inside,
you see her now. I mean, I would say that you know
Yeah, they recognize them.
The small, is on a different level.
Why they see the which HDMI input today is one or two of them.
It doesn't. You go over
Yeah, but you know some.
if you go 1, 2, 3.
That's all you have.
One of them.
Yeah,
If you raise more than 8% of the crowd, you think that's how
okay, turn off it. So check.
You just touch this. Oh, see, it go.
The guys that tell me, sir, I don't have
It try to pick up, but you didn't recognize them.
But I don't know like how to make the first drop. Oh, you did not ask me. That's
But I don't know which HDMI port.
It's only two.
The
only two where they talk.
So as you go there, you go pick up.
YouTube.
If you say go,
Oh, like so say go live stream out.
Yeah.
Have a link for you.
Oh,
The first drop.
then you are doing behind there.
That's the only way we can do this.
No, but that's the first drop is always the hardest. So you have to.
So look, this is just regular. That's the HDMI. You see, it just pick up.
Washington has won
So let me see.
straight home for his first ever game.
Why if you go YouTube, you have like a link.
There should be a link. No, you can actually use this like a laptop.
Yeah, what?
No, my baby. So you want to try go to YouTube directly and find it. You extend the screen.
Anyway, we don't need a screen, so
Because
for the people outside. Okay.
But this time is bad.
See, it's try to pick up at. Yeah. Anyway, it's a good.
What's
All right, so let me start.
No, see, what they call that?
We know they need the feed. We don't the feed is for the outside people, so they have the list. Yeah, they see.
Now your time then we switch cam. Your time we switch cam.
Yeah. Your own, you know, you have to
Protection. It's great. So put this on.
Okay, then let's just start.
I joke, I lost this shit, but I don't think you are getting that way.
What is that?
I have some flash drive where I can copy the stuff to the numbers still there. Fraser, how come the extra large finish? Who and who?
When they come start a meeting, maybe focus on. Charlie, when they come start a meeting, I bet make you guys on.
Let's start. Lolo, if they are coming, I can sit for a body.
When they say any money, miss, you know, I'm a lawyer, I can defend you anytime. I got a lot of for the streets. When they ask you any hard question, ask them to talk about it. If the American that do, everybody get a lawyer. Yeah, maybe pray and just start it. All right, so let's start. Who wants to pray?
I thought you are connecting this to the TV.
No, we don't need that.
No, we don't need it.
This big enough.
The feed is for the people outside.
Oh, so we're going to watch sports at the same time. No, maybe no kill.
Yeah.
So, but you put soccer on top. Put soccer, Barcelona.
No, I bet 10 at 0. All right, so guess what they pray for us to start the meeting?
Oh, transfer.
Amen. I'm done.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. Heavenly Father, first of all, we ask you to forgive us our sins. We thank you for leading us from the hills of Isada College through Billy Road to Accra to America.
Amen.
Heavenly Father, we cannot say we are not grateful. A lot of people have left this earth. We continue to see a sun in the moon every day, every night. Heavenly Father, as we are gathered here, we invite you to be in our midst, to protect us, to guide our discussion, that we should come to your fulfillment. Heavenly Father, all this weekend, we pray that you protect us in our going out and coming in. And we pray for peace and understanding in all the deliberations we are about to have. This we pray in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
You did good. It seems like you said yesterday. I can suspect because the way you started talking about forgiving of sins.
Oh.
Did you left the Mango Cafe on time? Did you get home on time? I just want to know. You said yesterday. I can suspect from your voice inside. You are asking for forgiveness or whatever. Did you do something illegal yesterday? I can hear it from your voice. That's why I allow you to do the prayers.
All right, so let's start a meeting.
Hey, you were talking about peace and understanding. This is not Iraq and Palestine. I mean,
all right, so first of all,
oh, I like everybody wear white. This is nice.
Yeah. That's it. We plan on getting it like the poster, like calendar.
Wow.
We can make money out of that. Right?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
all right, so
We put Ghana. We put the Ghana thing in shape. We put Ghana.
all right, so first of all, how many are we here?
10.
1, 2, 10. All right.
11.
11. All right.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice.
So first of all, I want to welcome you guys all for taking time off your busy schedule to attend this beautiful meeting. This is very definitive because this is the
Thank you, sir.
this is practically the most effective meeting before the speech day. So we really have to take decisive decisions before 2018. So on behalf of the executives and on behalf of the entire SATA organization, 993 organization, I want to welcome you all to the 2016 reunion hosted by our good friend Santa Rooster.
Good job, bro.
Rooster, aka Raspe.
All right, so compared to last year, I just want to make this very brief, straight to the point, no chasing. First on the agenda is the 2018 project. As you guys are aware, we went through a lot of changes. We started with the bus, and then we later found out that a bank in Ghana donated a bus to school. So that event was practically, not official, but practically scratched and went back to the drawing board. So now the issue is we need to pick a project that is more practical, but the good thing is
timeline and the resources.
Yeah.
exactly. But the good thing is our friends, we're not a standalone organization. We're just a branch of our sister organization in Ghana and so to speak the UK. The Ghana group had a meeting yesterday and they came out with, well, first of all, I'm jumping the gun. So Atora, our president, our prefect, went to NEC, National Executive Committee in Ghana, and then they gave him a list of projects based on priorities. And in the gist of all, I think the most important thing is more based on accommodation and for staff and students, right? And by means of accommodation, for staff it's residence, for students it's more of residence and sanitary conditions. So we have a list. I have a list right here in front of me. They went through the list, and the group in Ghana decided that two of the items on the list are renovation of the matchbox in school. The original matchbox in school is for a single family, which is single family, and the 1990 group converted into a two bedroom, a 2-family house, right? So that's more practical. The budget is between
repurposing the building for like
a 2-family, right? Converting from a single family to 2-family house, and the budget is between 180,000, I'll say 200,000 Ghana cedis to 250,000 Ghana cedis. When you convert it, it's like 50 to 60 $100,000,
That's
which
to
is
repurpose the existing building to a 2-family.
right, which is right in our alley. You know, it's way below our original budget for the bus, right? That's more practicable. The second option they picked was renovation of the topos.
The upper school
Right. Upper school topos, which you are aware of.
What's
And
the estimate?
right, but they didn't decide on which one to take.
Yeah, but in
So
terms of
right, so what they have the estimates for the maximum, which is $200,000 and $250,000 Ghana cedis, and then for the top ones, you know, I heard Eboapo, if you guys know Eboapo College is going to get the figures, and the figures will be in about a week.
We don't know that
This Friday, right? But right, so that's what they decided on. I just wanted to give guys brief you guys on what they decided on. Okay, now come to us. We also have to decide which projects we want to undertake because the money is coming from our pockets. You know, we don't want another group imposing their will on us. So
But
I'll
in
give
the
you
day,
guys
we're all trying to
right. So I'll give you guys. But the most important thing is at the end of the day, we have to be on the same page with them, and then come up with one decisive project that we can all, you know, embark on. Right. So that's what we're gonna be doing. So I'll just briefly. I have the list right here, and I'll just briefly go through the list.
This is the necklace.
Yeah, necklace, official
I have a
necklace.
quick question before you continue.
Yeah, let me just finish. Necklace. So right after that, and then you know we can just shoot it. Yeah, go ahead.
Some of us went to school in North Upper School. We went to Kweku House, Brazil.
Right.
Why will you be paying for upper school topos repair? Is the down school already repaired? The topos is that what?
Okay. All right. Let me. I think we addressed this last year.
Yeah, but
All right. Okay. All right. Let me just address it. All right. So the upper school is the toilets and the job 600. Majority of the time during school hours, the entire school needs uses the toiletry and the job 600. So that's the main gist behind it. Right.
I never use a plate.
What?
No.
Guys, one note. One at a time, please. So, during business hours or during school hours, everybody uses the toilets and the job 600. So there's a lot of pressure on it compared to the individual houses. Yeah. That's the main. That's why they don't have. Let me just finish. That's why you don't have a separate Katanga toiletry compared to the upper school job 600 toiletry. That's the whole point.
Job 600, so.
So and the point is, I don't know if you guys have seen the videos. Dr. Infojo went to the school recently and took some videos. And as of now, the toilet under job 600 has been barricaded. Why? Because the toilet facilities are basically non-existent, and students are defecating in the hallways within, by hallways I mean the small corridors within, right. So the headmaster and staff decided to barricade the whole entire building so that nobody can use it. So now during school hours, there's extra pressure on individual houses. Did you get it? That's the whole point why there's a toiletry facilities for upper school and there's none for Katanga.
What I don't remember is do the upper school houses have their own
so is that a solution?
bathroom facilities within each building, or job 600 that says
No, they have individual toiletry facilities. That is it.
Night house then.
Night house can tap.
they all use job 600. That's their primary.
We all had a section. There was a quarter for each house.
So that's the
For job 600.
Yeah.
For the
bathroom. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Don't worry about it.
Then is even the big issue that we
No, that's not. I mean, to your point, people that come from that
also
also
use
use
it,
it.
right?
I mean, it's I don't care about. But the thing is, the primary issue is one, you have this explosion of numbers in those houses, but then those houses are sort of the primary beneficiaries. But even people from Katanga, when they are at upper school, they use the facility. So, I mean, it's a good project. I guess it boils down to, based on whoever goes to cost it, how much it comes down to numbers and the money, how much it's going to cost.
All right.
I think those are two good projects. I mean, I think for a project.
All right, so that I've answered, Prince. All right, so now I ask this question. So you guys,
don't find the project like.
so do you guys want me to go to the list? So we take it from, you know,
Go through the list.
right. So we take
yeah.
I just go to the first 10.
Yeah.
Which is more important because they've already based on priority.
How many?
But I thought you said the list.
The list is up to 23.
The Ghana.
No, the Ghana group, it has two.
So all these for Ghana. Like, so
I just wanted to give you
Which
up to speed
one?
what you know
Which
the
one
Ghana
you
group
know?
decided that yesterday. All right, so for the list, one is, and mind you, this on based on priority. One is the school war, which you know we all
That's
contribute.
number one.
That's done. Yeah.
We're gonna cross that out.
All right. So number 2 is the bungalows, the 3 remaining matchboxes.
How many have you completed?
3 remaining. I don't know how many have been completed. 3. That's 2. The 3 is the biogas project. I remember you raised a very good topic on that. 4 is renovation of dormitories. 5 is completion of a bachelor's bungalows. 6 is toiletry system for the school. They didn't really specify whether it's 600 or any of the houses. 7 is solar power for the school. I believe that this is 8 group undertook a project similar to that, right?
For a house?
Yeah, that'd be
No,
street
for the entire
light.
school. Yeah, street lights. But it says solar. They didn't really specify what it is. So 7 is IT lab, you know, renovation and right, refurbishment of IT lab. 8 is
Like a computer lab?
That would be a project I'm excited.
Another feasible project.
Yeah.
oh that's 8. 9 is a new gym.
Gym.
Yeah, a new gym. 10 is alumni office, and the rest are not
Alumni
really
office on campus or where?
on campus. So the rest is
Alumni
not
office is
really
not urgent.
something that is on
Computer
our
lab
priority
is
list right
important.
now. So
Yeah,
let's just
this
stick
can
to
be
it.
done virtually. Go ahead.
Right. So let's just stick to
Do
1
you
to
have the
10.
cost estimates, please? For those.
The point is we pick what we want and then we look at the cost estimate
How
because
they
other than that,
How
it's
they
just
how they
missing.
do the listing?
Why would have to pick something that
You don't know how long. How they do the list? Don't they have estimates of numbers for those projects?
Well, unfortunately, that's how they approach it. Though.
No, if I find out, maybe we haven't asked the question.
Listen,
How do they come up with the prioritization? They don't know the cost. I mean, it's part of making a decision.
well, priority is based on needs,
Just
not
needs,
cost.
not
Just
cost.
yeah, just
But that'd be
needs.
foolish need, man.
I said now.
Wow.
All right, so as of now, I'm talking to you. I tried to get the estimate for because 1990 year group renovated one of the matchboxes for the project, right, for 1990.
How much?
They started in 1990 and they finished dedicated in 1991.
How much?
I was trying to get the estimate for Solomon, who's the secretary for We tried to reach out to him the beginning of this year. That's probably like 28th of January, right? We're almost halfway through. I mean, more than halfway through the year. We still haven't got the estimate.
What's the issue?
The last time he wrote to us, he said somebody from the 1990 year group came for the estimates. So on Zoom, there's no digital copy. Everything's on paper. So
Nobody can give you a number.
Now laminated,
So
and then So I reached out. So
this.
check this out. So I reached out to another year group member, Venus, right? Venus was 91. I reached out to you. Can you get us 1990 budgetary estimate breakdown? He went and then he was still the same story. So that's how difficult it is to get info from the guys in God.
Even for a project that's
Exactly. Exactly.
Hold on.
Exactly. Exactly.
Pushback. Then we also gonna.
Exactly.
That's the reason why.
Exactly.
Right?
So the 180 based on estimates from guys in the community that undertook the project for 1990 year group, right? Bolin was able to get us a very estimate. I was able to get for another guy, right? And then we kind of pull it, and then we figured that it's
what
going to
is
be
the average of that
250.
official? That's the average.
200 and 250 Ghana, It's actually 180. That was 1990. I mean, 2 years ago. So we figured now it's about 200,000. By the time we're ready, probably at 250. Exactly.
Yes.
So when you convert it,
Ghana City.
yes, Ghana City. Right.
So that's like
60,000.
50, 60, 65, give or take. Right.
Is it doable for this group?
That's what we're looking at. Practically, that's what we're looking at right now. And that is what the Ghana group based on why they picked renovation of the matchbox and the the toiletry.
Fraser.
Me personally, I feel the toiletry is too big of a project for us.
It looks like
It's a project that needs to be undertaken by the entire old boys or the schools.
Should be done by the
You know, because if we decide to do it, which one are we picking? Are we picking Night House? Are we picking, you know, in Brazil? Or are we just picking Job 600? That's what I personally think.
Either the matchbox or the computer lab.
So, all right. So now that I've given you guys, you know, let's just.
It's something that we can do.
All right. So now that I've given you a list, let's just go through the list from 1 to 10.
We can get computers here. After the renovation, we can get cheap computers here.
All right. So now that I've given you the list, let's go. Let's go through the list.
Kind of stuff that we need to do. We don't need anything to do to show that we did this. We need something that could have a direct impact on the students.
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's the whole point.
You don't want to wake up in the morning and like, oh yeah, it's on off.
But one thing that you always go to remember is whatever project you pick, it has to serve 2 or 3 purposes. One, it has to have an immediate impact on the students in the school. 2, it has to carry a legacy.
That legacy is bullshit.
No, it's not.
I
What legacy can a Topo repairs have? Maybe for 5 years. Legacy for 5 years. Maybe for 5 years.
Right, 2 or 3.
That will last for 5 years.
No, what was the third thing?
No, I said 2 or 3. One I can actually be broken into 2. So let's go.
Okay,
From a reliable source, I have heard that it costs about $30,000 to renovate a matchbox. I do not quite remember what is a matchbox in Asada College. I think that figure is too much.
No, they're talking not just we are repurposing the building.
What
Not
is the
just
matchbox?
From a single
Explain what does the matchbox?
So you know,
How does a matchbox?
Building them.
Does anybody have a picture? Let me see a picture. No, they have a picture.
They are now doing the speech. They guys. Let's.
No,
Guys.
I would
Please.
go for matchbox.
One at a time. If you want to talk, just.
I'm talking because I've
All right.
I think 30,000. You indicated that you find it very difficult to get information from the guys on the ground.
Right.
So there's a probability that most of these numbers will be estimated.
But if I take inflation and time,
But that's the actual. I have 180 from 3 sources, not just one person.
180,000.
that's an average.
That's the average.
And then projected inflation.
And I
time
projected
to
to 200,000. By the time we are ready to do it, it'll be 250,000 on the series. You get it?
To renovate the matchbox.
Well, not just renovate, to convert it to a single, to a double, you know,
Single to double.
to a double family.
We're
gonna get the figures later on. So
no, I want to see a picture of the matchbox again.
I'm not excited about matchbox. It have no direct impact on the students. We want to pick a project that have direct impact on the students. Matchbox have impact on the teachers.
but the teachers also transfer the energy.
It depends on where you're
I'm trying to have impact on the students. If you pick a computer lab, it have direct impact. It have direct impact on the students. It transform the life of the students. My goal is not to make the life of the teachers comfortable before I look at the students.
it's helpful, but
we are not saying that teachers are not important, but we are trying to motivate the students.
Yes.
The teachers will forever be there. The students are just passing through. Remember that. They don't have enough time to not feel what we are doing. We need to have direct impact on whatever project we pick to affect students that are coming through the system. We can take time to do matchbox later. When some of us become millionaires.
All of the projects have their own.
I don't want to be past professors. I'm just saying this is my
I agree. See, with the giving them the lab, whatever it is, that one also carries unending costs. So you need to provide electricity, dedicated work, maintenance of the computer. This computer should be junk by 2 years, 3 years.
No. Computers can last.
You need.
I don't have problem with the computer.
You need dedicated.
And I think I like the computer lab because why? Let me tell you why.
For 5 years, we would have produced computer engineers.
Let him finish.
We would have transformed their system.
I agree with that. They need dedicated internet service. Are we going to? Yeah, they do. I mean, exactly. All those stores are we going to take?
Let me tell you the impact that lab had on me. Kit Sotome took me there 1 or 2 times, and the fascination that I get from it, even though I was a liberal arts student and I ran out of that system, I don't think I've forgotten that experience up to today. The fact that we're going to not do the lab simply because of internet cost will not make any sense to me.
No, not necessarily.
The fact that we are repairing the place, we are setting new computers, it simply means if one day you have one new computer, you can send it. Once the building is renovated and is in use, it's very easy to maintain if we have good guidance in place. I know that for a fact. I have a lot. People always say, oh, 2 years, the laptop break or whatever. It's just a matter of having good repair system. Good. I have a laptop that ran since I was in college. I still use it. That will not deter me from something like the impact that will have on the students immediately.
Guys, to maintain. Hold on. Maybe we are doing this thing in the reverse. Why won't we get the treasurer to present to us the financials and project to us what will be our state of affairs close to the launch date? Then we can see if some of these projects are feasible. We are doing the whole thing in the reverse order.
No, I don't agree with that.
They have that already, but the only thing is they get the pushback from the people in Ghana. They are the only people who can give us the the actual.
Yeah, but maybe we don't have enough money to generate like 30,000 for the market.
Also, the money we know there's a challenge.
There's a challenge. So maybe if you know the numbers, you know what we need to be pursuing.
My hands.
I really want to.
Guys, let's.
I really want to think about this, Eric. You know, I don't know about this, but those guys in Ghana, the first thing is you need to get information, right information. Are they the only people we can get? Why don't you go to the right source?
The right source.
Talk to the I don't know who's actually to get information on, hey, we want to renovate this, we want to do this, remodel this. How much do we have to send somebody down there? Can't we talk to the school?
No, that's the
first thing. Right, talk to somebody who's reliable, dependable. I'm sorry, the mentality here, I'm so sorry, is different from that. When I realize that.
That's right. Guys. One at a time.
We need to do that.
Yeah, but the thing is, NEC is trying to streamline on this, side decisions, so everything will go through them. But unfortunately, not 100% efficient.
Yeah, but that's where we as well.
And if you guys notice the video circulating on the social media, the librarian saying that everybody comes, they take pictures, and they don't hear from them. Exactly. So now that's what NEC is trying to do, that everything comes through them. So we will have that in the future. Yeah, well, and that's how NEC, as a last year when we did our reunion, NEC didn't have a list of projects based on priority. This year they do. So they actually, they're actually, moving forward. And mind you, whatever they're doing is on paid positions. They're not being paid.
Yeah.
Just like how we also committed our time, even though sometimes.
I think at the same time, what we need to push back, like not only 93 is to tell next that look, we get it. You have 10 projects. Put an estimate or monetary.
Put something.
It's sort of like a pie in the sky, but give us some number of how much it's going to cost. So each year group going in, so okay, fine, it's 100,000, but I'm going to do mine in 2018. After inflation, whatever, it might cost you this. But you don't just prioritize based on, it's a nice to have. You don't know the number.
That's one thing you're doing.
So if I'm in a I will tell them, say, look, we get it.
All right, someone puts out the question. Let's just hear him and then we can move on.
Looking at the presentation you made on the topo thing,
right?
I think it's the pressing need for the student. Imagine you being on campus, go to a school or in a room and you can't find a place. Even if you have visitors to go around our school, right? They go and see this mess barricade. and we leave this thing there and go and do some banga or something or computer. No, I don't think that's. We cannot overlook that project. Even if we can tackle it halfway, whichever way, we can still continue to do it. Anytime these kids go there and they see whatever placard or what, once they enter, they know that, hey, 93 did. So we can take it, break it down into whatever years.
See, I think
we can do something.
I like the proposal.
No, there was a question.
Okay, go ahead.
No. Let me counter this.
Okay.
Let me counter what you just said. So if the topos is barricaded right now, why wait till 2018 to fix it? If you want to put your placard on that topos and say, I fixed this, what are the students going to do from now until 2018? Are they going to go to the bathroom?
The school, it should be a priority. And that's what I want. It should be a priority for the school.
It should be a priority for the school, not us.
It should be a priority for the school.
It's either NEC is looking at it. If they want everything to go through them to fix the school, then NEC should take that upon themselves to fix it. Or the school should look at it.
I totally agree. It's a pressing. Guys, please, one at a time.
If either those guys take it upon themselves to fix it, because it's a need for the students, but the school takes it upon themselves and say, look, we have a budget, we're going to take this budget and forget something else and fix it because the school needs it. And you mentioned visitors coming to the school. We used to have visitors coming, the old boys come and go use that place. So to me, it's a need. But it's not a need that we should go fix in 2018. That's 2 years away. A year and a half away.
It's so pressing that by the time we intercept that need.
Okay, one at a time.
So I was trying to elongate on some of the points.
You still want to talk or you
No, because I was trying to tell him that yes, it's a good project, but I don't think it's something that we can afford. I'm looking at that project. That is beyond our reach. We shouldn't do something.
I think they should give some
pour cold water on other people.
Guys.
And pour cold water on other people's effort. So what we need something we need something like that. Or maybe the match fund stuff. That's supposed to. They could have used the money to maintain. I mean, that's money that they used to build a wall. To build that to go. It's true. They could have done that. I'm not saying of course. If they think the topo is not pressing me, they could have directed that money, invested that money into the topo rather than the wall. And that topo stuff is beyond our reach, even though we don't have the figures and the hard figures, but I think it's beyond our reach. Either we look at those IT stuff or maybe the match bars or something transformation, something. The legacy, let's forget about it. Let's try to make an impact on it. Let's try to produce the next brigade. Or let's try to, let's try to do something. Those things are great. The computer lab might be there for 5 years, but people who have to experience in 5 years, you know how many people we can produce out of that 5 years? And it's not going to be successful. If we build that IT lab, it could be built on. I mean, we're going to make sure they have the repair, the facility, all those stuff. IT, somebody will buy another computer, go replenish whatever the old one, stuff like that. Have a very good system like over here, the kids, just like he gave a very personal story what happened through his experience and this time.
Of course, this man, what I suggest is that if we accept to do the IT thing and set up the lab, then we should also have in mind that the maintenance culture. We have to still find that place.
Maybe it's only
we cannot just
build anything. If it's out there, the project, the IT lab exists. Nothing stops another year group of old
if you have maybe money, if you want to
that's what
buy
I'm
5 computers, like my old company, so we're gonna give me some computers. We're gonna give me. They throw them away every 4 years, and we have it too. Some of this stuff we could have used them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, those things exist in the US. I think some of the challenges, I would say like information, privacy, and stuff. So maybe the computers, some companies will be like, it's old, but we can't give it out because we can't.
They can wipe it out.
I know. So guys, let's move on. You can get like a nice, good performing computer for like what? Less than $500.
All right. So let's get back on track.
I think this is actually for the executives. First of all, we are running against time. We really don't have time on our side. And I think you guys said that, but I don't know if some of us catch that. I don't think we should stress ourselves too much. We can't do everything. Guys, We got
Y'all guys
everything.
only do so much.
But I mean, I just love it. I don't want to mention you guys. You know, everybody. You guys are very. You know, look at people driving all the way from. Yeah, leaving families. This is nobody's saying it. This is unbelievable. Somebody from Hollywood. It's just crazy. But I mean, you guys. I mean, we haven't done anything about God will bless us because it takes to get up in the bed to do this. Some people will talk and they won't even show up. We are running against time, guys. Let's do the best we can. Like you said, we're not here to impress anybody. Let's do something to help some people. Like some people did for us. So the question today is this: can we, like, you guys are talking about $50,000? Are we within that time? Can we do that? Looking at all that.
50 is the minimum. We're looking at 66.
But you guys think we can make that? I mean, looking at all that shenanigans, all that.
To be honest with you,
we can hit 50.
no, it's doable.
Guys, let's All right. So yeah, let me ask you. Yeah, so 50 is doable. But 50 will be the bare minimum. We'll probably look like 60, depending on what project. If we decide to renovate the Matchbox, we'll probably look like 60.
But let's raise that one quick question. The 60, 50, 60, does that include, because I heard in the past, it's not just the project, hosting the speech day in and of itself.
That's why we're looking. Yeah, so what we're looking at, well, the 1990s used 180 to renovate, and we kind of push it to 200, and then we decide that okay, if we're to do it, we're gonna raise 250. So
that's just for the building.
Right, yeah, but the inflation, we kind of inflate in such a way to take care of those little.
Guys, so I think we're forgetting one thing. If you start a project, doesn't mean you have to finish before this week. That's right.
Yeah, but you still need the money. You still need the money.
You need the money, but when you launch the project, you don't need all of it.
The money right away.
Yeah, but as of now, whatever target we decide to embark on, whether it's we have to raise it by 18 or 19, it still has to be $65,000 or $70,000.
Yeah, but you have to show $65,000. We have this and we launch it.
We don't. We commit to give at least 5,000. Or 25,000. We're gonna get some.
And that brings and actually
let's commit either 25
and that brings me to a very important aspect of the discussion. All right, so of all the lists that I enumerated, we also gotta be very mindful that we can't be too ambitious. It all depends on our pocket. Because as you guys remember, we wanted to.
Excuse me.
Okay. I will brief you after.
You watch, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I go hospital. I'm going to feel good.
It's safe going, okay.
Grab some water.
Yeah, get water. I beg. It's hot out there. It is something different inside.
Yeah, so we got to be very mindful of, right, and that brings me to the three reasons I mentioned.
Before you do that, answer my question. Do we need a 65,000? Say that we have a project.
No, we don't. Okay, we don't. We just need to see money to start.
Yeah. So I'm saying that we're not going to have that money. 1990
finished our project a year after the dedication. 1991 still haven't finished it. They still have to provide beds for the dispensary. 1992, practically looking at 3 years to finish the project.
As long as
that project is the most ambitious because it's expanding, putting the second floor in the dining hall. So the point is, we still need the seed money to start whatever we're doing. And we're really committed and then finish it.
So yeah, we can't say we can have 50 or 60,000.
Oh yeah, it's very doable. That money is very doable. So right, so that brings me to the point I wanted to make. So so picking the project, 3 things we gotta keep in mind. Okay. One thing that is where you're very impactful to the students. 2, carry our legacy, and 3, within our budget. See, that was the 3rd one. I forgot to that. Right. That would be very beneficial to the students, impactful to the students.
Yeah, okay.
2, carry our legacy, and 3,
make the legacy number 3.
I mean, it's not really in order of anything. I just wanted to. It's not right. So that's what we got.
How to actually raise a good question.
You want to go first? You want to go first?
Well, okay, yeah. Okay. Well, no, I was just going to ask a question. Okay. Which one is cheaper, fixing one family house,
Right.
or
repurposing into like a
repurposing into 2-bedroom, or building a new 2-bedroom. Which
Oh,
one
it's
is
cheaper renovate.
Renovation, yeah, of course. Of course.
Way cheaper.
Foundation, all we take out of the money.
Way cheaper.
So
way cheaper.
So the renovating is like
It's cheaper.
that $50,000
Yeah,
thing.
well, it's not just a renovation. You actually convert it. You convert it into a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom. And not just
And you have
1-bedroom.
some samples.
One family to a 2-family. So whatever. So the point is, you have a kitchen, a bathroom, a bedroom. You got to replicate all of those things. Twice. That's what it is.
But the only challenge is
it's
when you take that project and you start checking the boxes against the criteria you say you want to leave impact, blah blah. It might not meet some of those check boxes because maybe only impacts like two teachers or whatever. Whereas a topos or something project might, or the IT thing might
cover.
So those are the
right. But yeah, give me like 1 minute. But yeah, but what we also got to remind of IT. I think this issue was raised last year, and we also got to remember technology changes every 6 months. So we can commit to the IT, but for us to have our legacy, you guys are in IT. So no. Let me just finish. For it to be very impactful, we gotta change hardware, software every 6, 8 a year. But once
Will be the.
they used.
I'll come back.
Somebody you get me. Look.
No, let me just finish. So that's the thing. So the point is, we don't want a scenario where we solicit money from members, right? And after like 2-3 years, we come back. After 2-3 years, we come back and then we try to ask for more money to upgrade or renovate whatever we have. The point is, we need to get a project we can just do it, get done with, and then we move on.
But the thing with IT projects is if you set a ball rolling, you'll gather more in the sense that it doesn't necessarily have to fall back on 93.
Mm-hmm.
You can say, brother, year group, 93 started this IT thing. Yeah. You guys know IT needs like upgrades, blah blah. You need maybe new computers, maybe new software.
No. But this.
My counter to that is if I'm 95 years old, and I come in and I buy new computers, I want my plaque on there. What happens? But you
guys are missing a very key point. The IT is not just the building's already there. The building is already there. All you need is a computer. Right. All you need is software and then the connectivity. Those things can be rated by 2-3 years and then what? $10,000, $50,000, $20,000 will be down the drain.
I see down the drain.
Another year group will come down.
The question is, the IT lab or the library is the place.
It will be short-lived.
One, is the place big enough for the student? Does it need to expand? Or we are saying we already have a place there for.
As far as we can expand it. I mean, the physical building we can do it.
So it's what it is.
It's all about right. No. Have you seen the building? We can't expand. There's no way. You want to build a new building?
Not a building, the room.
No.
It's all about providing.
If I share with another room.
No. There's no room for expansion.
So from what you're saying,
it's all about computers.
It's not all about computers. And all you're saying, that job 600.
There's nothing you can do about the road. You can expand it. It's fixed. You can expand the road.
No, it's fixed.
The only thing you can do about IT is provide computers. That's it.
It's fixed because you have the resources, right?
Have you heard of reconfiguration?
It's fixed.
Of what?
Of the setup.
That's what Santa was saying.
But that's just cubicles. It's not a good building.
You don't have to get huge computers. It's just like stuff, the way we go.
You talk about cubicles.
Economically, how you go and arrange them economically and all those stuff.
You talk about reconfiguration. Yeah, but that's not
The IT people are talking.
It's reconfiguration. Reconfiguration to fit more people is not an issue. The point is providing a computer.
Look,
we have a physical building.
Computers are not the only issue. The cheapest labs in this colleges cannot even take all the students. That's why they go there certain times. Not all the students.
No, but the issue.
Put pressure on it at the same time.
No. The issue is in the list is not overpopulation.
No,
it's about the technology.
Is that the case with the IT?
That's the IT.
How many people have access
technology.
to the, No.
It's not about the overpopulation.
How many people have access to the computer lab for this school? How many people live in the
If you buy, listen, if the students have like 20 access to 50 computers right now and buy 100, the school will find a way to accommodate 100 students.
Okay.
You get it? So the issue is now, it's not about setting up cubicles and all that. It's about providing the hardware and the software for the students to have access to it. So the whole thing about dedicating to
the fact that
building
you are speaking like you don't understand technology because you keep challenging.
I just bring it out to you.
For example, keep challenging it. All you did is just compete.
What you
For example, just like 2012.
It's equal.
Yeah,
2015.
Okay, we are sidetracking. Let's just, okay, before we go, you have a question, right? Let's just,
yeah, something.
So I'm going to say one of the pressing issues is the
right.
And for me, I think that's like going that direction will be good. It meets the three things that you said as well.
Right.
And then in terms of like the cost,
The impact on the students.
And then the tupo is not about flash now at the moment. Remember,
it actually. Yeah, that's what the headmaster's video. I watched that video. Like one you made is excellent in the sense.
All they need is more or less like YouTube.
Right.
Yeah, type of.
Okay.
The headmaster, if you watch that video, it talks about the one who said to me,
yeah, it makes sense.
Guys, let's finish this.
Well, I think is if we can go a step further or higher by looking for technology where it can be comfortable, the future will be comfortable.
Right.
Something like, if it's the form of PCI, you can see. It goes straight down.
Right.
Can we convert it to gas? Biogas.
Something like that.
That's a different level.
You see, the biogas coming, from there, something.
But we got to get that cost before because we didn't as much as we did, which is good. We can.
I think the challenge we're facing is we have nice to have versus rubber meets the road in terms of we have the money. Yeah. So if you have this pie in the sky like this Nirvana, say, oh, Charlie, this school would be nice. If you have this wonderful street, but the problem is the boys know we they or whoever they want. Say the project like the nice to have $100,000. If you only go come out with 40, the question is what you go do with the 40? Because then there's, I get a point saying that it doesn't have to be done today. Say like for raise the 100 today, but the question is, let's say we raise 30. Are the people committed to getting to the 100? No. Because if you start and go up, we all go to tire, try to chase people to come up with the remaining 70 to get to the end of the project. There's like somebody start build machine for silicon, you go do foundation, then reach on place and let the house like 10 years and don't finish. What will the
suggestion? Why not touch this?
Yeah, no, there's
even if you can do even a borehole, right? Well, borehole in Ghana is about 70,000. Ghana cities, which is about $3,000.
Those are the private ones for.
This is the
commercial. I'm talking about like a mass system.
Mass.
This is just like an individual use.
No.
That's just an individual use. You're talking across student population. No, but the borehole just be like one individual.
Oh no, they do it for villages. People donate to villages every time. Borehole was in the.
No, I see what it is.
Yeah, they can do that.
All right.
If we want to take up the topo, then we have to do it with the mind that maintenance is going to be in place after it's done.
Part of the maintenance issue is why we don't want to.
And secondly, we have to have at least one other year group following us that have to take it up and
maintain it
and finish it if we cannot finish it. Because it's going to be we can be here underestimating the cost for building the place if the location at which you are. I've seen at this school, I've seen the land. It's not going to be the easy borehole like how the land is in my village, where somebody could just do. I've seen the landscape of that. That is pretty much a maintenance type of We have to
They
keep,
do something
because
to see
you end up seeing a cost that totally gone out, that will totally go out of hand. And remember, if they have to go get commercial hands, no matter the cost, you say, when they come in and tell you, look, we underestimated this, but this is all we could do. If you don't want to pay more, they will walk away and the projects will become a white elephant. That I can assure you.
But guys,
Okay.
I think we're focusing on these 2 projects. And that's what the Ghanaian guys came with.
All right.
Should we look at the list again?
Okay, so all right, so right then that's exactly what I was about to that's my next point. All right, so let's go to let's not jump the gun. Let's go through the list. Narrow it down to 2 or 3, and then essentially 2, so we can be on the same page with the Ghanaian guys, and then whatever is common to both groups, and then and then just to recap real quick, the Ghana guy is gonna come up with the figures for the toilet and the matchbox. So whatever we decide is not gonna be definite today, but it will kind of give us an idea going forward. All right, so first on the list is the wall, which has already been taken care of. Second on the list is the matchbox. Anybody in favor of the matchbox? Can I see hands, please?
For matchbox.
For the project.
For the project.
Yes. Okay, so it's 2. All right. Okay. All right. So the third one is the biogas. Yeah, biogas for the kitchen. The biogas for the kitchen. Anybody for the biogas? Nobody.
Just for the kitchen?
Yeah, for the pantry.
For cooking?
Yeah. All right. Fourth one is.
What does that really entail? Biogas for the kitchen.
Yeah.
Biogas and energy for cooking.
The white thing they
Instead of
to push it to convert
what's all part is
So even if you do that,
guys, relax. Converting Shitom to biogas is not as easy as you think.
No, but
look at the distance between 600 and the dining hall. So let's just not get ahead of ourselves. The fourth one is give me one second. The fourth one is renovation of the dormitories. I don't really think anybody's on board with that. The fifth one is completion of bachelor's bungalows. I think that's in line with the matchboxes. So this right there. The sixth one is the toilet.
This is job 6.
The pool. So anybody in favor of the toilet?
You have to go more than once. We'll go prioritize and
you can vote more than once.
I know. I don't know what's happening in the morning and you want to
Right. 7. 7 is the solar system.
It's a quick one.
Yeah.
What's the phone?
Yeah.
You mean the one, the flashing one?
No, we don't know
yet.
We don't know. Maybe for reaching, but based on what the headmaster thought, if they thought say maybe they do like Shitom style, but it will mean either repurposing job 600, but you go do topo, but how it go, what form it will take, because you don't know figure out the cost of the project and all, but just like general thing is topo. I don't know what form it will take.
Okay, 7 is the solar system, solar lights. Solar lights. For the streets. Yeah, I think. Already okay. So 8. 8 is 8 is
Somebody will give you a rough number.
guys, let's please. 8 is the IT lab. How many are people in IT lab? Okay, we have 5, 6, 7. Okay. Mine is Jimmy.
So we're gonna put Zanta. If they don't want to do,
The gym is 9.
Yeah, we will buy computers
And the 10 is alumni office.
If they don't want to do, we will buy computers and go and do it.
We'll gladly put something like
Okay, guys. All right. So based on the votes, we came out with 3 choices. The topos, the IT, and then the matchbox.
Matchbox get only 2 votes.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is the Ghana guys have the matchbox and the toilets. All right. We have 3. They have 2. All right. What is the third for?
One we don't have from the Ghana guys.
I see. No, Ghana have.
It's only the IT thing that the Ghana guys.
No, they don't have
No,
IT.
they don't have IT.
They don't care about IT.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the figures. We're gonna get the figures. We're gonna get the figures.
No wonder they couldn't get
Guys,
estimates.
please, one at a time. So we're gonna get the figures for all these three choices, so we can make decisive, informed
my question,
decision.
I get to my question to you with this IT thing is.
No, it's not. We haven't narrowed down to any choices.
All I'm saying is, I like the idea. We need to figure out a path to who's going to give you the numbers. We need a rough estimate. It's not like nothing just go out there. We have no.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Something.
Yeah.
I don't want to put anybody out there, but I have somebody that I'm the go-to person to every person. The person is being reluctant to give some money because
we don't have a
project.
Okay.
That's one thing. So the same applies to if we have a project and we have a cost attached to it, how much do we know that we have to pay? Maybe I'll keep paying $10,000. When is the cutoff point? That's
I think.
Well, as far as are you talking about members
or pay for individuals paying for the project, or somebody who's ready to pay, but the person doesn't
Well,
want to pay.
you want to answer that one,
What
sir?
we're paying for.
Well, I think there are 2 points to that because one, for now we've done a projection assuming everybody's going to pay $360 a year by 4, which is like $1,440 per individual. That's been like our go-to estimate, irrespective of project cost. So we assume that give our 50 members, Ghana has a different amount they're contributing, but for the US branch, that's sort of been the number we've been working with. The question now becomes, assuming that all the US members were even able to come up with that money, it's a question of, is it enough to meet whatever project we select, or there's a shortfall? And is the Ghana, whatever Ghana contributing going to make up the shortfall? So in terms of funding, we've sort of capped how much everybody's on the hook for to an extent that if you're in a US group, you're only on the hook for $1,440. Maybe you could come up, the project will come up more, and that means the executives are screwed because we under budgeted because we've capped everybody out like, okay, everybody just has to pay $1,440. The reason why we came up with that number was like, fine, we projected, we had like, 50 members or 40. So give or take, maybe the US alone would have raised like $50,000, give or take, assuming everybody paid. That's an ideal one. So in terms of numbers, at least based on that projection, it looks okay if Ghana makes sense. So give or take, I mean, as we speak now, looking at the projects in play, the IT thing, the Topo, and then what was the third one? Matchbox. Readily, I can think the only one that looks in reach based on the conservative estimates we have might be the Matchbox. The Topo thing, I don't know the numbers. Topo, I don't know why. Which is okay, yeah.
Guys, you want to talk just please, because the guys are watching us on the live feed.
The Matchbox, it's probably the easiest and the cheapest that we can do. But then the impact.
Yeah, but you have to reconcile impact with reality. I mean, I get it, but we need to figure out, like, I like that idea. The question back to our members is, if you want a biggest bang for your buck, are you committed to going above and beyond to get? Because for now we're like shooting based on the conservatives. Make us not go and then you go.
The fact is this. We have 50-40 members. Give or take. One thing you have to understand is, I think we have maybe 15 active paying people. Maybe you can tell us how many we have. We're not going to take a project because it's the cheapest, have no impact. That's not what we're going for. Secondly, the so-called give or take fixed rate, it's going to change, whether we like it or not. If we are only 15 people that are focusing on doing it, we're not going to say because somebody is refusing to pay, or we are only limited to 1,500. For example, I've committed 5,000. That's my minimum to the project. I know some other people who are also telling me they will do the same. We should think big, go out there, show what we got, move payments if we have to. That's what we are going to have to do. We are not imposing, but if we have to revisit how much the minimum should go a little bit higher, that's what we have to do. We have to do that.
Guys, please, one at a time. One at a time. If you have a question, please raise your hand and then. All right, go ahead, please.
To Zoom. So in this case, indirectly, I'm saying we have to pick the slack of other members, which I don't have a problem doing.
Go ahead.
But are other people ready to do it? I don't think it's fair to some of us, because if somebody is slacking, you don't have to pick up the slack. Even though it's a
It's an individual person that decides.
you can decide, but we shouldn't impose. We should make it in such a way that if you are willing to go beyond what is our minimum contribution.
No, what I'm saying is what I'm saying is you are not getting my point. I remember when we started, the minimum was $30, and I said that is too low.
That's based
Per
on
month.
that's not
Per month. No. Let me. Let me. I said, and then you guys rejected that. That is based on how much people can pay, and that will make more people pay if they make, and that assumption turned out to be totally false.
Okay. So what
Because it did not encourage anybody. If anything, it tells the people that, oh, maybe if they make it 10, I pay. That is not the mindset that we learn from our disco.
No, but
when we say play out,
let me just answer you.
When it's 30, they cannot pay their
that is what I'm saying.
Okay.
That is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. That the committed members must be willing to move the ball a little bit more.
Okay, that's fine.
And totally.
Let me quickly, and then Fraser can take it. So that 1,440 baseline I painted to Santa sort of where everybody has been my baseline. There are some members that are committed to doing $100 a month, which is way above, which is like twice or whatever, give or take, maybe 3,600, 4K above what everybody. We don't want to make it look like there's not like a beauty contest. So we're trying to like those guys are out there, but we've said that look, everybody's for, but we sort of build that as a buffer that assuming some people don't come through. There's people out there that have committed. I mean, we're not trying to make this like a beauty competition where you're trying to look prettier than your friend. There's some people out there that have committed. I don't need to mention them. No. Fraser and the executives know, and we're tracking those guys. So those ones we're like, fine. We sort of have that in our back pocket that hopefully those guys. Because at the end of the day, what we're trying to strike a balance here, we do not make this thing look like it's like we understand this is the US, even in Ghana. The fingers are all not the same. There's some people that genuinely have
that is understood.
Based on that, we know that there's some people that are willing to go above and beyond. We're not trying to trumpet them or market them. We're like, fine, we're working with those guys and like, guys, we know you guys are like, we acknowledge you are above and beyond, but step up and do it.
I think everybody is overlooking what I just said.
Okay.
Let me repeat clearly what I just said. Let's say our goal is 60,000.
Okay.
And we've done our best. All of us reach 55. We are not going to stop the project because we can't get 5,000. If we have to impose it on ourselves at that point, we have to. Because we have to see the project through. That is all I'm saying.
Oh, that's the point.
That is, maybe I'm not saying it hard enough. This is all I'm saying. The shortfall is still our responsibility.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. But I just have a question. I think we're still going backwards. Now, we haven't even identified anything yet. We have three things. But I want to throw this out, the scale of preference. You know, we just mentioned these three. Everybody should tell me which we need. It's not about, we need to tackle the most pressing. The most,
most pressing against the backdrop of how much money.
Let's the most pressing. Like you're not impressing anybody. You're trying to help, and we can do everything. Which scale of preference? Let's put those three things we just mentioned. Everybody should tell us which one is the most needed. Like which one do we need?
That's what we just.
So let me.
I just want to make a comment. So
you want to let me answer that.
I was going to say the same thing because we talk about three things, but if you look at the vote, there are only two top things here, right? So the matchbox. The computer had two votes. And then the other toilet had 7 votes. We probably should stop talking about the one that had.
Yeah. You should forget about that.
And then keep them two and then discuss.
I would say I will respectfully say no, and this is the reason why. Like Theo said, of all the three, based on the amount of money that's trickling in,
Oh,
renovating the matchbox is probably the most ideal thing right now for us.
I guess doable.
It's doable.
It's doable, but
It's doable.
less impact.
Because less impactful but more doable. Because look, you know, after this,
Ask a question.
No.
So if
After-
you have, let's say, like a 3-seater Fito, and then matchbox, which one would you prefer?
thank you.
Hey,
it's the money. It's the money. It's about the money.
Matchbox is not pressing.
No. Guys. What? Let me finish. Guys. Like that. There's a very simple way to go about this.
Yeah.
We've narrowed it down to 3 options, right?
So let's
Give us about a week or 2. Let's get the figures. Once we have the figures in hand, right? And based on the figures, we and our might, because right after this, the treasurer is going to present the state of financial affairs, right? And then based on that, we can know how we can move forward with the committee members. Because as of now, I think we have like 12 or 13 committee members paying into the office, right? So I mean, ideally, we can decide to go build a whole new dorm for the school, but where's the money going to come from?
No. This is
So we got to be realistic and be more practical
this
and
is
see
the-
what is within our reach, and then more do
I
it.
just have a simple
Let
request.
you talk. You know, let me just ask somebody else who was here.
Based on what you just said,
Right.
what Theo said before about the matchbox,
Mhm.
it's doable. Why even debate it? If we can raise $50,000 to restructure, we renovate, why even talk about it now?
Yeah, but the
The
point
Ghana
is,
guys identified it. We
right?
didn't really vote for it. Let's
They
talk about
haven't voted yet. They identified 2 options.
2 options.
Right.
So that was one of them.
Right.
We didn't over here. We didn't agree on the matchbox. We only had 2 votes.
Yeah, it should be low on the priority.
Yeah,
Low on the
focus on it
priority.
right now.
Talk about it.
So let me
I
get
agree with that.
Well,
Let's talk
the
about
other
the top
2.
ones
We don't.
and
The matchbook, we have the figures. The other 2, we don't have the figures. Let's get the figures, and based on
I
that,
can-
we can make informed decisions.
I agree with that.
Right.
We don't have the figures for the
Numbers
IT.
can make us-
We don't have the figures for the IT, but I think if you have $60,000, you can make a bigger impact for the IT than
So guys. Oh yeah, go ahead.
So about this matchbox, and I've been saying much about that, and I've heard the same sentiment from many people here. That
Okay.
if I have $50,000 to spend on this other stuff,
Mhm.
not to choose between two teachers and a bunch of students,
Mhm.
I'm sure that.
But you simplify things. You assuming that they all cost the same. It's not. So let's get the figures, and then based on the figures, we can make informed decisions.
Yeah,
Can we do that?
that's all it is.
Yes,
See,
let's get the figures.
Yeah,
We've narrowed down. The most important thing, we narrowed down to the 3 choices. Let's get the figures, and based on the figures, we can decide what to do.
I think what you said is very, very true. I'm going by what this guy is saying. This guy is saying we've been talking to me. The matchbox is doable, but you guys are forgetting Ghana. That thing, what do you call it? The 2-seater or whatever it is. I can tell you that it be the cheapest thing, and you ask me why.
If the figures is in favor of that, we
Then
look
come
for
the
it.
figures are coming. You know, you heard about China, right? You know China? Everything is going to come from China.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, he's telling me right now, they have the cheapest labor you can get. The example tell you, Ghana, you get people who even volunteer for the village. They will come and help.
No, I think no.
Let me mind that, and otherwise that won't make sense. I know we haven't got figures, but you can tell. Like telling me, oh, Mercedes and Honda. You know Mercedes is expensive.
Of course.
How do you call that? Vito or whatever it is. It's not expensive. I know, and that thing takes a long time. When you do that thing, you're talking about maintenance.
And
Maintenance
the
or what?
following year can do the biogas.
It will take about 5 years. When you do that whole
Guys, what?
it takes a long time to make. The maintenance would be like you said, you have to upgrade it. You can get they can make human hands for you if you want. They can make a nice seat. People will say that it looks like flashing. It's not fake. You just sit there fake. You sit on it, and I can tell you it's like $20.
All right, so that's what I'm saying. So it brings back to the point I was.
So let's look into that very
So it brings back to the point that I'm saying. Let's get. We have 3 options, right? Guys. Let's get
put the top 600 projects in context. It's not.
let's get the figures. Let's get the figures, and then we'll make informed decisions on that.
The other thing I need to read is everybody needs to understand this. The job 600 project, the way the headmaster framed it, and I could be wrong, is that place is not only topos, it's topos and bathhouse.
He wants to separate it.
I know, but the project in itself, I don't know how you could go tackle that project and say I'm only going to do
Do that,
topos
just
and
leave
not
that.
do this.
That's why it comes
As
to
a
numbers.
project, if you're going to tackle job 600, then you are going in to kill both birds. Because it's not like you have to do the back house and do that because now the place is holding off or whatever. So either you're going to every house because from what I've heard, a house doesn't have its own.
No, yeah, we're not gonna do individual houses. Just that.
We should not forget that raising funds is not only we the members. See,
No,
guys. The speech day that we do, I remember that some of the old boys put a magazine and all those stuff, and they are big companies, okay, that are willing to be advertised as part of what do you call it? And they give money.
You see, I like.
Yeah, but you want me to okay, go ahead.
As a treasurer, a classic example is even in the US as you speak, there are companies that can go. We're registered as a 501c now, which sort of gives us like a voice to go out there to market. But I think it's not just sitting here in this room, and we have to actively have members saying, how do we go mobilize?
Yeah, but let me come in. See, it's easy to sell a project that will sell the masses than to sell a project that is going to be for two or three. See,
we can
talk
talk to the teacher.
Because see, there are people who are ready to give donation. Depending on what you are going to use the money, it's easy to sell to poor. I'm telling you.
I know,
yeah,
but the point is we can't just we can't. I like that idea. It works for me. Even Crow, one of our members talked about it. It's like he was all for. There are people that have deep pockets, even in America or Ghana, wherever that. If you can package the idea in terms of what you are trying to go to, let's say it's a Topos project. We need to package. I mean, we don't have time. We need to package it and say, okay, fine. Santa 93, I decided we can use the school as an umbrella. This is what we're going to try to do. Then go figure out, okay, which organizations, whether it's WHO, how do we go reach out? And somebody has to sign up and say, look, I'm going to be involved in helping drive it. You and I can sit here and talk about it, but if we don't go drive it, the funds are not going. The funds are out there, but it's like you need to go work the system to get the money in.
Yeah, but we need to get the project.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right. So back to your point, and then also the problem with advertising is is more impactful when it's getting closer to execution of the project.
It's not necessarily if you can sell.
So look at it. We're looking at 2018, right? March 2018. So you look at practically 6 months prior to, because that's when it's going to come into the newspapers and it's going to generate the buzz that they need to also sell their products. Nobody's going to be putting money into your coffers 2-3 years prior to the start of your project.
We can even start a project with whatever we got.
I'm just answering you about soliciting money from advertisers and stuff. Okay, right? That's the thing. So by the time the advertiser money come in, it's more of putting up the finishing touches or recouping money we've already put into.
No, but Fraser, it's not only
what advertisers.
It's not only
that. I can take some. I can take some to my check.
The outside part. Yeah, the outside
go to a corporate sponsors. Corporate sponsors. That's why
the corporate sponsors don't necessarily need to have even broken ground. You can project the course you are trying to get to. Even though the course is not yet in sight, it's like there's a school in Africa. I mean, you can go out there and talk about is there health issues. People can't go to the
fortunate will not pay a dime.
And then go figure out like, okay, this is the course. How do we get the funds? And we can go like what they call those things. Those websites where they call the ones that GoFundMe and those things. You can frame a project even though you haven't started. But I think our focus now, I like the idea, but our focus now is the people that we know are human beings that we can go chase down or show who and who give me money. It's not the quickest and fastest way to get the money. America, trust me, they have grants and things. Let me give you an example. Like my dues, I'm way behind. I haven't paid. But guess what? I was pushing Fraser recently. Apparently, my company matches like up to $5,000. If you do $5,000 from your first, they'll match dollar for dollar. So I was like, why should I be here just throwing mine when I know they can match? So I might as well conserve. And then once I put my share, then they'll just match. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for them to do because I've done something else at a test case. So much. So those are. I like the idea about like if we can frame the project. Maybe there are things that we are overlooking that can get us money. Yeah, that's true. But the thing is, as a community, right. we all don't have the knowledge, but we're limited for time. We don't have a project yet. We're sort of scrambling. It's like we're all over the place.
Brainstorm.
Now we have like three sort of go-to projects. There are two. The third one is sort of like fine. But like if all else fails, maybe that's what we're gonna go to. But the two is like I like the idea, but the thing is we all have to ask ourselves, what's the path? What are we gonna do to make it work? Because ultimately, if we commit to a project and we can't raise the funding, it's wishful thinking. I mean, we're like,
these are a good plans, Lolo. But then again, if we don't have the cost for this project, how are we going to sell?
That's what he's saying.
Sell this
Really
stuff.
saying
That's what I'm saying.
He's gonna get that.
I'm gonna get the figures for you guys. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like we're going in circles. We've picked three options, three options, whatever you want to agree on. Let me get the figures. I'll get the figures. We'll present to everybody. We'll vote on it. Whatever carries the highest vote, we embark on it.
I sure hope we're not going to depend on it.
You know, that's simple as that.
He's in love with Marlboro. He's in love with Marlboro. Don't get hardness with bro.
Listen, I'm very an ambitious guy, but it's got to the point where I got to be very
I think you want to go and
guys, please, one at a time.
So this seems like it might be a stupid question, but is this a conflict of interest? Like, I know we're trying to get money, but this is a question that I have. Do we in a yearbook? Don't we have anybody who is rich, like he has money? I'm just asking.
Azuma.
Oh, Azuma.
Oh man, Azuma.
double.
You know what I mean? Okay, so let's say somebody like, I don't know if it's conflict of interest.
I just asked for the dues to be increased to $50. They were crying. Now they say Azuma.
I mean, we can try.
I know you say you can't even turn this off.
They make one when I say dues should be moved from $30 to $50.
Those they're not coming to do any. They're done with the speech they thing. So let's say we try, like you said, hey,
Me and you don't have any responsibility.
Yeah, a little push.
Yeah, I have royal responsibility back home. I'm still willing to check.
I don't think he is that, we should get somebody who can connect us.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
That's why you are the man.
Connection is, yeah.
But the student know you have 20 years. You are the man.
We can reach out to him.
Yeah. Come to Hila. I will introduce
But the
you.
point is, we still got to use the foot soldiers.
Yeah,
us
do that.
to, so
You know, but
We
where
can try.
it makes it challenging is if you have a core base. I know the figures are on like you were saying like even the best they're asking that the guys
$1,000.
At least if
She gave me
let's
the
say
one
if
that she got
the minimum will pay.
no,
guys, please order.
if we're saying the bare minimum, granted we don't have a project yet, but at least we're rallying trying to figure that out. I mean it's like work in progress. But if our members are even committed, or we even have people telling me that look, I'm down. Once you guys figure out the project, whatever it is, at least the 1440, it might not be enough, whatever. But if we get that sense as the executives, then it's like it makes our life easier that we're not totally there, but granted we might get like 50 or 60,000. And we now need to sort of stop expending our energy trying to go chase the minimum and say, okay, now what else can we go do? But if we're even struggling with our core members to say, okay, how do we even get money, the bare minimum for our members? We haven't even figured out, and we're now not going to this big strategy that, okay, which corporate institutions are out there that could help at this school raise money? That's where I struggle with this. Like, we haven't even cleaned our house, and we're now stepping out.
So first of all,
We need to identify the project.
And
That's what we do.
like
So guess what? So let's find this out. We started off some time ago. We had a project called the Pass Project, which we killed. But before we killed that Pass Project, ask me whether that Pass Project. I know people had
Did we
reservations.
kill the Pass project, or
We
it
killed-
was killed by somebody?
Well, it was killed by.
So even the topo as we are talking right now, trust me, we'll be here somebody who can kill them.
No, I get it. We'll get a project eventually, but the question becomes, whatever project we eventually get,
I just heard
Are we gonna
that
have-
I'm a rich man, so
are
let
we
me
going to have the resources?
Guys, one at a time.
Me, my biggest fear is resources. The project, I know we don't have it yet. We're working towards it, but the question is, fine, when we do get to that end state of this is the final project, our members committed enough.
But to me, I see that
Okay.
to be
All right, so it's not to cut you guys off. It seems like we've spent a lot of time on the first agenda, and it's practically exhausted.
So summarize and let's get it.
So in a nutshell, so basically we've identified 3 projects. the IT, the toilet, and the matchbox, right? I'll try to get the figures by the end of next week or next 2 weeks. Give me 14 days to get the figures, and we will deliberate on how to get everybody to, put in their, give their input, whether it's through voting, through email or calls or text or whatever, and then that we can make a decisive decision based on that moving forward.
Just one quick suggestion.
All right.
The 92-year group, they're doing the dining hall, right?
Yes.
So Salam did all the. Can we get him to look at the matchbox, the top box, and give us an estimate?
Well, the matchbox already been done, so the figures are already there for the matchbox.
Well, you said it wasn't accurate.
No. I couldn't get the figures from here. It's already been done. It's been confirmed, but I couldn't get the official figures because apparently.
So can we get him to look at it based on inflation and everything?
No. I could just get the figures for 1990.
Okay, so
yeah, I just don't have access to.
Let's have him look at the top us and maybe even the IT, whether it's reconfiguration, whatever it is.
Okay.
Just give you some. I think if we're going to depend on NEC, we probably will be here another 6 months talking about the same. Right.
Yeah. Can we get somebody from a group who's into those private management?
Well, you need to get the figures first before you can get someone to manage it. So that's
I understand too. Yeah.
Well, we need to get somebody in Ghana. Yes, get somebody. Yeah, I mean, getting the figures wouldn't be a problem, as long as we don't allow that. Because the only point was for a while, NEC didn't have a list of projects, and they just came out with a list. So I mean, that kind of like gave us a little bit.
No, I think this is where.
So now that we have the list and we've narrowed down to 3. We can just move ahead. And we don't have to go through that to get the estimate. We can get anybody else to give an estimate because after all, we are the one doing it. That's what it is.
I think this is where we need to have a talk and say, fine. Ghana, Santa 93, these 2 projects. Who locally can you guys? Because we are not on the ground. Like somebody needs to go take.
But that's the easiest part. Once we identify it and we get the the figures.
No, we've talked about some of these things for a while. We haven't gotten any concrete numbers. I mean,
we haven't. For a while, we narrowed on the bus. Beside the bus, this is the first time we actually talk about anything else beside the bus. So, yeah. Anyway, all right. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is the state of Southern 93 North America Financial Affairs, and I would gladly give the seat to my honorable treasurer to take over the meeting. The floor is all yours.
Okay, so mine, I guess. We are done.
People didn't say ask questions before checking.
Yeah, I did check that. This is.
Only one person will vote. We vote.
No, we know the votes right now. Who the votes?
Somebody vote for purpose.
I like it.
We talked about people putting questions.
Estimated things. That's what I always say they will take pictures of the topo, make us see the way.
Oh, they take pictures.
So there was one that was terrible. The one where I seen it. Look at all those guys, man.
If they lock it down, it might not be good, right?
The guys right here.
If it's in padlock, it might not be good, right? Just think of that.
I'm fired.
If the topo is in padlock, it might not be good, right? Guys. We are still guys. We're still like it. So please.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, I think we've got.
You're close to
some votes for it.
Rather, you get a platform for
All right,
guys, you take a seat.
I hope I'm about one go stay for match.
This don't like you. No, behave. All right, let's go.
Okay.
My suspicions are
What's that with the top?
I'm a radical.
Go ahead, we wait for someone.
Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead. Okay, so I guess as a treasurer, I'm going to speak to, how much money we actually, we've talked at length about trying to identify a project and then raising money and everything, but we, the executives, have sort of kicked back against the argument that, look, we get it, but at the same time, if we're going to do any project, there has to be sort of some funding in the coffers to enable us to get there, right? So we went ahead and, I guess since 2014, we've tried to raise money from some of our members. We've put out what every member's commitment is. And I think the baseline commitment for every member in North America is, we've set $30 a month for 12 months over a 4-year period, which is like $1,440 is sort of what every member's contribution is supposed to be. Following today's meeting, I guess tomorrow or early Monday, I'll send each member in North America sort of like, we're going to have a statement on the WhatsApp forum that says, this is the 1440 number that we're marching to for each member. This is how much you've contributed, and this is how much you're left with to go. So everybody sort of have a snapshot of, fine, there's enough talk about projects, but at the same time, we need funding to enable us to figure out the path in terms of, okay, is it project A or B or C, or how do we get there? So I'll start off with where we're at the end of 2015. So, starting off at the beginning of 2015, we had $2,470 in our account, which was the contribution to a raise from a few members. We have close to, I don't have the exact head count, but we have close to, I guess, 40, what's the exact head count?
50.
Okay, 50 members on our list for North America. And we need to scrub the list. There's some people that have fallen off. Either they're no longer in the US or the people that we've added. So give or take, I think we're still within the 50 number. So we started out with $2,470. And during 2015, we had $5,263 as dues coming. So that makes for a total receipts of $7,733 at the end of 2015. And out of that, we spent $75 on New York State registration dues. So that left us with a net of $7,658 at the end of 2015. Out of those 50 members, we have 10 of our members so the $5,263 that were contributed in 2015, it's only 10 of our members that contributed that $5,263. So that tells you they're close to like 40 members that haven't yet contributed a dime. I'm not saying they're not committed to a cause or there's no path to them contributing, but sort of we have a scenario where they're either on the fence or we don't know where they're at in terms of what they want to do. So there's 10 people that actively contributed to the $5,263 in our account of 2015. So if I take what we're projecting everybody to contribute, just not the whole $1,440, so for just 2015, if I say everybody was supposed to contribute, let's say $360, which is everybody's annual contribution for 2015, and I take out what people have paid for the year, we still have close to $21,000, which is in arrears in terms of funds that we're hoping our members will pay in. So that tells you at the end of 2015, we still have like a backlog. This doesn't reflect the outstandings for 2014. There's still a huge backlog in terms of people that haven't even paid any money in 2014, but we're just sort of fast forwarding and saying, okay, so 2015, this is what's in arrears. So at the end of 2014, just to recap, 2015, just to recap quickly, we have total receipts of $7,733. What went out was $75, and we're left with $7,658 at the end of 2015. So for the purpose of our reunion this weekend, I want to jump into our 2016 State of Affairs, talk about how much money we have in the coffers and what's the path forward against the backdrop of the 3 projects we've been looking at. So we started 2016 with $7,658, which is what we carried forward from 2015. For the 8 months to 31st August we've had contributions of $4,306, which gets us to a total of $11,964 at the end of August. And the $4,306 that we've had for this year have been contributed by 8 members. So that even tells you the 10 we had in 2015 have dropped to 8 contributors, active contributors in 2016. So that means there's still like what, close to I guess 42 people that haven't contributed anything in 2016. So out of the total receipts of $11,964, we paid $400 to the IRS as part of our registration for a non-profit entity in North America. And then there were additional miscellaneous expenses related to getting a new checkbook and wire transfer fees of $131. So we received $11,964. The outflows were $531, leaving us with $11,433 for 2016. So quickly highlighting how much is still outstanding. So bear in mind, we said we had like what, 21,000 from 2015 that hasn't been paid by the members that haven't contributed. For 2016, based on the year is not ended, but if we look at where we're at now, there's still about $24,000 which is outstanding from members that need to be paid. So the question is, are those funds going to come through, given that we have what? We have one more year to go, right? So effectively 2017, but the question is, if we're going to embark on any of these capital projects we talked about, either let's say the IT lab or for example, the Topos project, the question becomes for a project, I'll talk about the fact that we don't need to complete a project, but even if we need to kickstart, that means effectively by maybe June of 2017, the project should even have broken ground for us to figure out what's our path to, making the project final. So in a nutshell, we currently have, as in terms of money in the bank, we have $11,433, and in the purpose of transparency, close to about $900 have gone out, which is sort of part of a fundraising and effort the execs have worked on in terms of sort of, I think, raising, like, we ordered t-shirts where there's sort of like a margin on that, but obviously those funds are going to come back. So net, we're still going to be back at like $11,400 as of, let's say, today. So the question becomes, for the rest of the year, obviously the people in arrears, I'm going to send out everybody like a personal statement in terms of, for those that are actively paying, this is how much you're projected to pay. So $1,440 is your total expectation for the 2018 project. How much have you paid to date? How much is outstanding? And then the question becomes, for the remaining 40 members that haven't paid anything, so what you're going to see is you're going to have $1,440 total paid to date. You haven't paid anything, $1,440. So that gives us a baseline. It doesn't give us a path to how we're going to address any project we end up selecting, but the question becomes, granted, let's say even everybody pays the $1,440 across our members, the question becomes, are we short or we're light? And what's the path to get there? Obviously, the Ghana group is also working their part, and then there's London, the UK group, but that's sort of in flux because we don't know what's going on with the group. We haven't really. You have something to say? Yeah, go ahead.
But based on the figures that you just spewed out, I believe last year we had a reunion of some people who came and they were able to contribute a lot of it. We consider them to be active members. Somebody like KK, the other gentleman, I forgot his name, Chu, whatever. They came and they contributed some money. I believe I was able to.
Yeah, I think the way I look at active members, if you've made any payment at any point in time, we consider you to be active. In a sense, at least you sort of demonstrated that you are, at least there's a path.
You've done the 9 people.
Right.
But you say those 2 guys are part of the 9 active members?
For 2016?
Oh, you mean 20? I'm talking about.
Well, I think on average, the most active people, those 2 people, I wouldn't count. So there's active. I look at active in terms of, okay, anybody that's made a pay, but most active in terms of, okay, who has been, let's say, for 2014, 15, 16, who has made some form of payments.
Okay, because somebody like me, I believe
We've been
this
at twice.
my attention. 2015, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
precisely.
2015. That was the later part of the year.
Correct.
I believe the fourth quarter. So after that, I believe I made some.
No, you've made. So I'm saying you're in the active bucket, but the question is not about trying to isolate names, but among the executives and for all of us seated here, we know people that have actively been making an effort or have reached out and let us know their intent in terms of, oh, we know you guys are having challenges. We know there's no formal project, so to speak, but we're on board. Okay. We get that. You don't need to physically have a check to us or tell us, but at least
that was my fault.
Because I think the challenge the execs struggle with is, fine, we take the blame for the fact that we don't have a physical project to tell you this is project A that we're working on. Where it's sort of a work in progress, which we sort of outlined. Fraser's talking about. But the other piece is, if we all acknowledge any project that needs to happen, obviously needs to be funded, and we don't have a path to, I mean, the funding based on the numbers we've talked about, if we're talking about even stuff that's in arrears from 14, 15, there's close to maybe about 40,000 out there that hasn't come in. But we all know anybody that owes back or money that's in the past. The challenge of you going back and say, oh, I owe something in 2014, 2015, oh, I'm going to write a check. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it becomes like, the picture becomes sort of that. But that's where Fraser said, fine, let's have a statement go out there. Look, for every member in North America, this is a baseline. It's 1,440. How much have you paid? Where are you at? Then the next piece becomes, let's go through the list of our members and actively ask the question. Are you on board? Are you not on board? Or if your personal circumstances indicate, fine, I'm on board, but just give me time. So that makes life easier for the group and the execs, because then it's not that we're saying anybody's deadbeat, but the question is, we sort of want to focus our energies. It's hard also for exec to be hounding somebody that, hey, oh, Kofi, when are you going to pay one? If you genuinely have a problem and you don't tell us anything, we also don't want to become a nuisance. Like, okay, we're constantly like, hey, Kofi, what are you going to do? It's not happening. But at least if there's that communication, then we know that of the 40, it's only 20 that we should be focusing our energies on. Maybe there's another 20 that it's not that they don't want to be part of this, but maybe their personal circumstances don't allow them to be. We sort of take a step back. Okay, fine. Those guys, let's give them a breathing room. Let them figure out what they need to take care of. Let's work with the 20. When those guys eventually come around, they want to come through. The door is still open. It's not closed. And you let us know. But I think the challenge now is we're sort of that position where there's like 10 or 11 people that are sort of like doing their part. And there's a silent 40 or 30, 35 or 40 that we don't really have a clear sense for whether they are in or out in terms of where they are.
There are some, I think, they declared that they are ready to pay. I know two people that I can count. They are ready to pay.
Okay.
And
so the concern is more around the project.
Okay. I do have some degree of trust for those two guys, and I know they can do it. Okay. They are willing to do it, and they can do it, and they are willing to do it.
And then before Azuma answers, one quick question to you is, I know obviously at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff was around relationships and stuff, but based on your conversations with these, you don't need to mention names. Do they have any concerns, or have they expressed any concern that either preventing them from either doing something now, or is it the sense that they want to see a project or something before they step forward, or do they have reservations on the fact that execs don't have a clear project and that's why they're still on the fence trying to figure out what to do? Or I mean, it's just a general question.
I think one has a reservation.
Okay.
As regards to what project I will try to back on. Okay. It looks like we all over the place.
Okay.
If we have a definitive project that he's willing to write a check and fill them out, and what is
fair point. I mean,
I think he's gonna come true for this.
Eric, let me just rebut what you're saying. At least as from today, we have 2 or let's say 2.5 projects. We've agreed on 2.5 projects. So now I think this is definitive enough. Those people, if I go to somebody and say, hey, okay, we need cash to implement a project, and he asks me, what kind of project? Well, these are the 2 projects that we have. Are you committed to any of them? Yes, no. If yes, give us the money. If no, then we know you're not interested, right? At this point, that's what it is. We have 2 projects identified. That's all it is. You go to your people, you sell it out to them. Hey, these are the 2 projects that we have. But we
But
need-
it's one thing.
before, like you said, we were all over the place. We didn't know what is going on. We didn't know what we're going to be doing. But now at least we have two identified projects that we can choose one.
Right, and back to your question. It seems like at every reunion, this issue comes up, and we keep on addressing it. Even after the reunion comes up in the forums, we keep addressing it. This whole thing started was 2013, right? We came out with an interim executive. We were hounding, but for not set up an account. It took us 3-4 months to set up an account.
Yep.
Goes into all the paperwork. We set up an account. That was an excuse for people not paying to it. We set up that account. Guess what? The money didn't trickle in. After that, we went and picked the project. They said, "Oh, there was no project." The money didn't trickle in. We went and picked the project. The money didn't trickle in. Okay. Now, after Unibank or whatever, the budget.
Now they shut down the other
People came on board saying, "Oh, we need to see the project." That's why we need to find something to concrete to to contribute to. So it's like every step there's an excuse for people to hold on to for not contributing. But guess what? All the guys here, including the 2-3 guys who couldn't make it, have stuck with us from day one because they know that regardless of whether we pick A, B, C, or D, we still need a capital investment. The capital to push it. So that's it. So whether we pick a charcoal grilling or Gary making factory or whatever, the point is we still need the money. If you're committed,
none of those apply to this.
if you're committed, you still chip in. Like how I broke it down. $1 a day for 4 years. That's $1,440. There is no way. Based on the number we have, there is no way we can go lower than that for any project that we're about. There's no way. So whether we pick A, B, or C, we still have to be committed to this minimum payments. And I don't know how long, how hard, or how exhausted we all can be to, look at that. It comes to a point where
tell your guys to bring the cash.
It comes to harassment. You text me through, if you go first with this guy's let him call it then after that.
I just have a short. I see the frustration in brother Lolo's voice. I just want to own up that I haven't contributed in a while. Brother Lolo, you get $500 next week. I have a genuine reason why I've not been donating.
Because you didn't get a statement of account?
No, that is not even the problem. I've been donating to Hillary because defeating Donald Trump has become very important to me. So I've been donating. I've been donating to Hillary.
Yeah, Rusa.
Okay, so Rob, I just said the truth. So Hillary locked my money. That's wrong guy. He said Brenda for getting money.
Guys, please. People are watching us,
I just tell the
we go off track. They
It's not a joke. I just told the truth.
After the election, you get more. It's really hard to do the job that people are not really responding the way you want them to. But Eric, I was thinking, you just said you keep on telling us these 2 guys, you don't know who they are, but I think why don't you level to the executives to handle those people, because if those money is a potential thing they can get. Let talk to Fraser or let them talk to those people like Phil was asking you. So what is the hope? What is holding them? If you really want to pay, you just bring the money. So
I completely understand what you're saying, but I think the other piece which helps the conversation is it's either you facilitate or helping. Let's have an open discussion. We're all adults. And let's sort of figure out, let me address people's issues or concerns. And I'm not going to say, I'm putting a gun to your head, you need to pay me. If you have concerns that I can't meet, I'll tell you, look, Project A, Project B, I'm sorry, I don't have a project for you. But this is sort of what my commitment to you in terms of the path forward.
Exactly.
If you think that works for you in terms of what makes you comfortable in wanting to contribute, I'm all down for you. You can go ahead and do that. But if you're sort of waiting there, okay, fine. Let's get to Project A and then you go ahead. I'm also down for that. In which case, at least for that group of people, I know that they are sort of committed. I just need to go that extra hurdle and then they are down. But there's this other bucket where I don't hear anything. I don't even know where they are in terms of their mindset. Which makes life hard for the execs because I don't know whether they're going to come through come 2018 or whatever is going to happen. You get my point.
And
living in Arizona,
I don't mean to jump the gun, but if you guys realize we have a second meeting tomorrow.
Oh yes.
You know, we don't want to compile everything.
No,
because
get
people
it,
are watching us. You know, you don't want a 4-hour long meeting. So tomorrow's agenda is a strategic meeting where we're gonna figure out how to move forward with the very few that are committed, and that's what all this talk is. So if you have any questions or suggestions, you can save it for tomorrow, and then we'll have it all day for tomorrow for that.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, that's
right. I mean, before we end, this was something that I just wanted to point out at the beginning, but I mean that kind of escaped me. We just want to use this opportunity to applaud our executive for the great job you guys are doing.
Yes.
Listen, it's honestly, listen, I mean, just to this level, when you guys tax us to reach out to our friends, I saw the pushback. I saw the little things that I have to go through. That was like with 3 or 4 people.
He talks
then I realized that how you guys are dealing with 15 people. If I'm having this problem with 3 guys, then how much more 50 people? I just want to use this opportunity to applaud you guys and say big thank you for your time.
Yes.
The patience that you guys have exercised, playing and dealing with us. Guys, you know what? My hats off to you.
Yes.
Our hats off to
yes,
you.
Yes. And you especially living in Arizona.
We're not going to disappoint you guys. Definitely
living in Arizona with the rest.
Right? We are not quitting. We're not going to quit. Like you have people talking about a platform. I'm going to quit. I'm out 2016. No, we're not quitters.
We've come too far.
We've come too far. We're gonna get this thing done. This is a project
like that.
We're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. This is doable.
And put people to shame. Yes.
This is doable. We're gonna do it.
We come
with a few people.
I think the consensus and the thought process of the executives, we come too far to just. Otherwise, all the effort we've put in is just for nothing.
Yep.
So either way, we're gonna cross the finish line. The question is how do we cross it? Either way, we'll cross the finish line. I mean,
all the effort
you
guys have invested in this. It's not in vain.
Living in Arizona, speaking the truth.
Because I was telling you,
please, guys, watch it. Please, this is not a time for us to quit. We've come very far. Let's try to rally together, rally forward, and try to get this thing accomplished. It's very imperative that we do something for our mater. Please, we're begging you. We're pleading you.
Wow, bro.
Don't let us quit. We're gonna get this done together. We're not gonna fight. We are
fighting together.
We are fighting together. We're gonna get it done, right? We're gonna get it done. You believe me, right?
Yeah.
Right. We're gonna get it done.
You repeated some Hillary campaign lines together.
Yes, so we have anybody else?
We are fighting together.
Somebody else. Something.
He said we are fighting together. He stole Hillary campaign line. Which is
all right. So all right. Thank you, Mr. Treasurer, for the breakdown of finances. So as you guys heard, the Treasurer, the state of our finances is very bleak, but we're all hopeful. As some guys would say, last minute kaput. We do have a belief that some guys will step up in the last minute, but we hope it wouldn't be too late to, put the money into a good cause. So that's what we're looking forward for. So the first agenda was the breakdown on the project. The second was the state of the financial, and the third one is basically an open forum. If anybody has any suggestions.
The other thing I'd say, President should add is, I mean, just put out the word that nobody has given up on anybody. We're still completely acknowledging the fact that there are people out there that have personal circumstances and things, but it's imperative that if there's anything, at least our members or whoever, if you can't reach out to the execs directly, you have friends, through your friends or whatever, let at least the execs know your situation or circumstance so that we can sort of, as we scrub a list of potential members, sort of figure out like who can we still sort of, because we don't want to harm people unduly. I mean, if I don't know Kofi Ama or whoever circumstances, I want to be able to whichever. I want to be able to reach out to people when I know, like if I know Kofi's circumstances sort of way, in some way, at least I'll back off and like wait till like I think he can genuinely do his part. But the people that say, hey, I'm committed to this cause, let's just keep pushing and do our part. And then if the execs, I mean, maybe for all you know, we're not doing something right, we're open to criticism or constructive criticism or letting us know maybe there are things that we need to explore. We've already entertained ideas about potentially we could raise funds from alternative sources. We're open to people, and it's only that, I mean, there's only so much the execs can do in terms of time that they kind of commit to this cause. If there are people out there that think they have knowledge or expertise around fundraising, I mean, the Startup Group is now a 501c, which potentially sort of gives us an opportunity to go out to market. We can write letters, we can reach out to people, but the execs alone can't do this. So there are people in our group that have the knowledge or expertise or contacts that can help us sort of figure out, okay, how do we put together a proposal or something to go to market? Help us go do that. Because the truth is we're short of running out of time. I mean, come latest by, I know we haven't quit, but at the same time, we need to acknowledge that by June of maybe next year, like 2017, we should sort of have a sense for one. The project has been penciled out. We know this is a project. What's the state of our funding? We should be able to make a call of how much we can genuinely raise or bring to the table. Otherwise, all this is just, talk. I mean, that's what it is.
All right. Anybody has any question before we move on to the fundraising? All right, so the next on the agenda is the fundraising. As you guys remember, last year we had a very successful fundraising where as we were to contribute, we were to collect about $500, cash, checks, pledges. So
Another
this
thing
year,
I guess you need to clarify with the fundraising is this is outside of the contribution 1,440, because I think part of the disconnect was some people they sort of I'm not saying it was just maybe a perception thing, but I think you need to sort of frame the argument that this is outside the 1,440. This is sort of something we do as part of the union, right?
And is it the money that goes directly towards the
No, it will go towards the project, but all we're saying is
if you remember last year, the point was we don't, besides the minimum contribution, we don't want to burden members with extra contributions besides the priority is to raise the minimum. So whatever contribution we decide to solicit here goes towards the individual contribution.
Exactly. Okay, fine.
So so if let's say Jacob decides to give us $500 today, it goes towards the 1,440. That's how we did it last year.
Yeah, that's why I asked the KK's money. Did you
that money went into it went into the contribution, right? So the fundraiser is more like a whip, whipping members to cough up more money, right? So and the point was that was the reason why we got all these shirts, but amazingly all the guys here are active members, active paying members. So you can't really.
Yeah, I'm not active.
You can't really. That's why as soon as I saw you guys, I gave you all the shirts. So
you count me.
Right. So fundraising. If anybody's interested and wants to donate money or pay for the shirts right now, or give any money towards, I know you just give us $500, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's a good cause. You just give us $500.
We were just fixing to your pocket.
So who are
I already lost my USB, man. You never know.
Today. So yes. Anybody else?
I mean, you can play.
Just give us $500. He's about to step it up. $600. Everything gave us $600. Nice.
You can also pledge and redeem it tomorrow.
Yeah, you can also pledge. You can
get
cash, you can press cash.
Don't forget, we take pledges on WhatsApp. If you go on WhatsApp, pledge $1,000, $2,000, whatever, $100, we're gonna take it.
Yeah, you can pledge on WhatsApp also. And
you are saying that goes towards your
contribution. Yeah.
So your money
I can.
He's good.
Okay.
Yo, Yo, Zoom, make
Hey,
us see some.
somebody-
You can play it. It still counts your contribution.
Usher, $100.
500.
Yo,
Anybody
Zoom
else?
is coming through.
$500.
Keep quiet.
Dude, please clarify, is it dollars or cities?
No, actually, I deal with Indian guys, so rupees.
Make it put me down for 200. I will do it.
Whoa! Round low. I'm 24.
Anybody on the WhatsApp?
I'm 24. Okay, I owe $100 for shirts, right?
Now fundraisers.
Yo, guys, follow the feed.
Zoom, how much? 500, right? 500.
Yes.
We can bring you one. They do this for the worldwide where the city, because the worldwide is where everybody. No, worldwide.
Yeah,
is
seven
everybody
first of all
is
for
like-
this. Seven
Oh, you want to say 200?
Cities don't have 200.
500.
But whatever. The other pieces. Whatever. The other piece, whatever gets pledged has to be redeemed tomorrow. We know the
Yeah.
is that
Everything has to be reduced tomorrow.
they
So
redeem everything
Nobody
tomorrow.
will fight for it.
Unless the banks and
Oh, Tim, I saw your hand up again.
no, that's for t-shirts. That I owe. $65.
Oh, fine. No, you're not talking about
So t-shirt, I owe $90, right? So make a $100. So I owe $600.
I mean, my t-shirt and things here, I'll be out. I'll pay everything.
Yeah, you pay.
yeah, good.
I pay for my own. I left for so and half for pricing home. So,
No, not half.
Hey, 500.
What's up, dog? You came
What's
through.
up, dog?
What's up, dog? You came through. That's what's up.
The other thing I want to add is that's open to this forum.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, I have the option of whatever contribution. I mean, that's this forum needs to decide whatever has been pledged today. If everybody's open with it, with a consensus of members. I already talked about the fact that, like, whatever I do at work, I mean, other people that work at companies may have this company pledge. If you like, whatever we're pledging today, we can work with the execs and say, fine, if it's 1,000 we gather today, unfortunately, you guys might not get a tax benefit. I can take all that 1,000 and say, fine, on behalf of Lulu, I go pay that into my company. They'll match it. They'll match $1 for $1. No, that's why between us. So like, what will happen? If we get 1,000, we'll get maybe like 1,900 after it takes some expense. Yeah, but
Yeah, that's why.
either way, yeah.
Wow.
Off the record. You didn't hear that on here, okay?
Guys, times are tough. Rasta, the host, put $200 for down.
Rooster, trying to fly.
Rooster. Oh, man.
Put 200 for me too.
Since I'm the prince, make them 700. We have 100 more to catch up. Yeah. 24.
So long as people they are around.
They
won't show up.
They
No, they can't do the here. But
They show up.
they show say,
Because in the way for the moment,
money. That we how we dey raise money.
Dr.
Necessarily say,
hold on to your money.
Forget, also make money outside.
Yes. So this hold on. If you go back, we can settle down. This. Let me
because everybody go to stand.
Because I want to do the basic one.
That's a bit. I think that's
Originally 500. Yeah. 500.
No, completely. No.
Yeah, 3,000. This is more than last year. I'm just praying for one day. One guy will get it. You guys. I got
Somebody where will you grow up? Challenge people.
We'll make people, somebody out there that
they use for checks like Harvest and local. Sometimes you don't make your mind say go give. Some pastor will come to one and check.
Influence, you try to confuse you.
We all we did there, we don't get that money. As you tell me right now, say Charlie Patrick pledged like 5 for now. For sake, the environment. That thing they happen.
All right, so
after 8,000, everybody get up.
A good testament on what this
guys. We have a light, so we can extend, you know. I don't think we can extend it, you know.
Yeah, that's fine. We can wrap up.
Okay, so now any other, you know, are we done with the fundraising? Any more pledges?
I think
No, just give us like 10 minutes. Okay, 10, 15 minutes. Okay. Any more questions?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So as part of the speech day,
right?
We still have to host the cement party and everything.
Yes.
Which is outside.
We have the cement project, the books, and then the main project. All on us.
That'd be prizes.
Yeah, prizes.
But we already have sponsors for prizes. So is that what they did?
Well, we you know, we're still in charge, so we have to.
Okay, so are we factoring that into the?
That's not
that's a 9 year, but those things are doable, so we're not really stressing.
There are some
the chunk of the money is, you know,
we have to outline.
Yes.
Whatever final estimates we get.
We'll portion out.
Yeah, but we have to put a number to them. We still have to outline all the things that we are responsible for.
Exactly. Right.
And if you can't say some sports coach with there.
Yes.
Yes. I ask you, I don't have.
Where we,
I don't know who the other guy is, but based on previous years, we just give me. They need detailed line item of it because I think if we don't have the
I'll get all the figures. When we settle the projects, I will get the details of that. The miscellaneous.
No, but it will be good to have that, so I'm going to put them out there. So
Marlboro advises those kind of sites costs, whatever expenses. Make we know add them to this for now because
those
that could pour cold water people say for over.
No, we can. I think we can compartmentalize it on the executive level. That look, you know, we're going to need an extra 20 or 30 years to fund.
Bring money for that is just an issue. It's small. It's like 5% of the budget.
I'm not saying add it, but you have to.
Yeah. We take care of that. But that's not an issue at all. If we have to raise $70,000, that's like $4,000 or $5,000. That shouldn't be an issue at all. So we should be good.
The president didn't take out that stuff, so don't worry about it.
Okay,
and then put the 550, like so people know they acknowledge the 501c. I mean, for people today, and they, I mean, might not move the needle a whole lot, but you can item and put it on there. No, for a tax advisor will say, you know, take you only cost you like $200 back. Right. I didn't know
one second.
The treasure finishing work, I need lime juice.
Wait, 1 second. So any more questions?
I think we're done, man.
We're done. Okay, all right. So next on the agenda. Yeah, you're about to take pictures. We have somebody take pictures.
We'll do for outside.
Yeah, do it for outside. We'll get some.
Okay, outside.
Yeah.
But you don't get a distance or a
t-shirt.
This is self.
What size do you do?
I think it was like medium.
Medium.
No, medium.
Small large.
We get extra large.
You want to try this one, see if it fits before I'll get a new one. Try this one.
Right? Oh, try it.
Why don't they come for somewhere?
Maybe because she can't. Oh, shall you guys force?
Eric, I
know, the course of my school.
What you guys force? I saw the picture on the platform. I mean, I don't know some talent. I don't really need to come. I was like, then I was
set example for the SSS group.
Would they talk about five
I like fire for
influence of make them join.
for your corner.
Don't say I jingle them.
Oh, okay.
I jingle some standing. All those guys who will feel like this.
Why is that?
This is talking like a mom. No, I think she's
Sorry.
Sorry.
You know Adam.
I make mistakes.
Space. Like one very for
Yeah, they can watch it.
Make sure they get 9 names.
Yeah, fire. Spanish.
Everybody's official, so we try to conceal anything from anyone.
No.
I
won't do this.
Somebody.
Outside.
Okay.
Outside?
I can respond to him. That's what's up, right?
Yeah,
respond. Wait, go there, your WhatsApp.
Nobody house. Nobody else their house.
Give me my phone.
Where's Where's Zoom? Zoom relation.
I don't know.
It's too risky.
Hey, where's Zoom?
Where's Zoom?
I'm going to spend my phone.
All right, if straight and take the pictures.
Yeah.
Okay. What if you do? There's a light speed here.
Yeah. Not just that, but
Guys, where everybody there? Make everybody come in.
you should say no.
Maybe
Maybe I know, right? They're not beat you fought for when we ran with
now, maybe you stand here so you go but maybe you it up so that
this side, right?
Yeah. On.
Yeah, but you go now you go tell the pictures. All right, babe, you guys they come give the award to. Oh, I'm supposed to. I beg you to block the camera.
So I'll take them.
All right, everybody, is everybody here? Guys, I need you guys in the back row. No, please.
Zoom.
Lolo.
Come on, please.
Anyway.
Some of us special. Your lamb or what?
Well,
Lamentina.
as president of the North America 1993 group, I gratefully present this beautiful plaque to Mr. and Mrs. Pimpon for organizing this amazing 2016 reunion, especially for the fact that he stepped in at a moment where we couldn't really find anybody, you know, and he did a very beautiful job.
I want to avoid for the 2018
within
project.
within a few weeks to go, and we really appreciate that. You know, you're a guy. You're a guy of your word.
Yeah.
Once you're committed, you'll be able to do it. You know, and of course, behind that successful gentleman, you know, there's a beautiful woman behind. You know, so we're not picking up that. So as it says right here, it says Addison College, 1993, North America. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Frimpong, for your warm hospitality, exceptional service, and hosting the 2016 reunion in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, on September 2nd, 2016. Wow. We want to present this award to you guys for doing an amazing job. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
What about him? Go there. The lime juice you work. One more.
Awesome.
Everything come out, man. What? Say from
Frimpong.
Frimpong.
Oh, we're Frimpong. No, I said Frimpong. Nice.
Thank you guys. Pictures for memories. Give yourself, guys.
Just I want one of these because
You didn't pitch. You didn't advertise your advance. Do one for everybody.
All right, guys.
Make the announcement for.
We're done with the general meeting. Just a recap of what we just discussed. First on the agenda was the 2018 project. We had a list of priorities from NEC, and we narrowed down to 3 projects. The first one is the Matchbox. The second one is the IT for the school, and the third one is the toppers. You know, the toilet facilities for upper school, which essentially caters for the entire school during school hours, and members voted on it. So we decided that I would get the figures for the next 1 or 2 weeks, and then estimates. And based on that, we'll figure out, based on our capacity, as far as the numbers, I mean, the figures we have in our coffers and the impact of the project, and make a decisive decision going forward with it. The second on the agenda was the financial state of our organization in North America, and our treasurer, Fuiklinogo, gave us a very detailed breakdown of the finances. I mean, it looks very bleak, but we're still hopeful that a lot of members will step in besides the 12 active contributing members. And then the third one was what was it? Give me 1 second. The third on the agenda was the fundraising, and the fundraising was very successful. I don't have the total figures right now, but it looks like we raised close to 1,500, which is more successful than what we did last year. We had a lot of people contributed. 2 people contributed at least $500. Some contributed $300. Others contributed $200, and a couple more contributed $100. And all this money is going towards their minimum contributions. So in a nutshell, that was very successful. And even though some of you were not able to come through, we took your questions on WhatsApp, and hopefully we addressed it. We have one more meeting tomorrow, which is the strategic meeting, and that will address how to move forward with the few members who are committed. Because as you guys know, since 2013, since we started this reunion, every year we have a problem where a few members are committed and we're still waiting on other members to chip in, and there is still no hope. So we really don't have time on our hands. So come tomorrow, we'll figure out how to move forward with the committed members, and then see how we can make this thing a reality. We appreciate you all. Thank you for watching, and God bless you all. We'll talk to you tomorrow. All right? Have a blessed day. Goodbye.